Hello guys, welcome to Movie Mind YouTube channel. Today, in this video, I am going to explain to you the full story of the RRR movie. Let's take a look at the story of this movie without further delay. At the beginning of the movie, Scott, a British aristocrat from Delhi, comes with his wife to the Gond people living in the Adilabad forest. Then the little girl Molly who is there sings a beautiful song and makes a design on her hand. Scott's wife likes it so much that she asks Scott to take Molly to Delhi with them. He also agrees. But Molly's mother tells them not to take Molly. With that the British beat her and take Molly and go to Delhi. On the other hand, people in Delhi tried to storm a police station after the arrest of freedom fighter Lala Lajpati Roy. So when the people completely surrounded the police station, the few police officers inside were afraid that the people would break the fence and come inside. But there was a police officer named Ramraju who stood bravely without fearing them. Then one of those people smashes the photo of the British aristocrat in the police station with a stone. Seeing this, the British police officer got angry with him and ordered the police to bring him and make him sit on his knees. But no police officer dares to approach him among hundreds of people. Then Ramraju, who was there, on hearing the order of the British officer, without considering how many there were, jumped among them and beat each one of them, went near him and with great difficulty caught him and brought him inside the police station. In the process of bringing him, Ramaraju is injured a lot, but he ignores them and again stands in front of the police station. The British police officer is shocked to see it. Also hundreds of people who were there see the bravery of Ramaraju and leave. The next day, the British police officer was giving promotions to some of the police officers and appointing them as special officers. Ramaraju has been waiting for 4 years to see if his name will be included in it. But this time also Ramaraju was very disappointed as his name was not in that list. In the next scene, a landlord working under the Nizam Nawab comes to British officer Edward in Delhi for Molly, a Gond girl. There the Zamindar said to Edward, "You have brought a Gond girl by force. They are always together like a flock of sheep. And that flock has a tiger like Bhim as a shepherd. If you do not hand over the girl to them, Bhim will come to Delhi and kill your lord. He will take Molly," he warned them. Hearing that, Edward laughs by saying, "Can Bhim destroy the British Empire in Delhi and free Molly?" He says that he cannot send Molly. In the next scene, in a forest near Delhi, Kamram Bhim is executing a plan to catch a fox. As part of the plan, Bhim was waiting for the jackal by pouring blood on himself as bait. And just then a fox smelled the blood and chased after Bhim. Then Bhim ran towards the net, saying that he should trap the fox in the net he had set. A tiger suddenly attacks Bhim who is running away from the fox. With that the fox runs away seeing the tiger. Now the tiger follows Bhim. Then Bhim, not afraid of the tiger, runs and captures the tiger in the net he has set. After that Bhim lives in a Muslim house in Delhi and works as a mechanic looking for Molly. In the next scene, it is revealed to the British council that Bhim, a Gond, has come to kill the governor and take Molly away. With that they arranged a meeting and asked, who are the right police officers to catch Bhim? They are thinking that. Then in that meeting Scott's wife says, "Whoever of you catches Bhim, I will make him a special police officer." Then Ramraju comes forward and tells Scott's wife that I will catch him. Then the British officer next to her tells about Ramraju's earlier duty near the police station. With that, Scott's wife trusts Ramraju and entrusts him with the task of capturing Bhim. In the next scene, Bhim sends his man Jangaya into Scott's palace disguised as a maid. But to go inside the Scott palace means that even the workers must have an ID. As Jangaya did not have that ID, the British soldiers noticed it and beat Jangaya. Just then British Princess Jennifer comes there and saves Jangaya. Bhim, who saw it from a distance, thinks that Jennifer is a kind-hearted girl, he should be friends with her anyway and move into that palace. In the next scene everyone thinks that Ramraju is the enemy of the enemy and our friend. Also, Bhim, who opposes the British, goes to a meeting organized by the freedom fighters, saying that he will be with those who oppose the British. There, Ramraju says that in order to gain confidence in him, with everyone, we should directly attack the Scott palace to oppose the British. Hearing that, Bhim's friend Achug got faith in Ramraju and we too also thought that we'll attack Scott palace. He asks if you will help me a little. Hearing this, Ramaraja thinks that he is definitely Bhima's man and says that I will help you but first you take me to your boss. And Achug, who fully believes in Ramraju, takes him and goes to Bhim. British soldiers stop them on the way and ask them where they were going. Then Ramraju shows his ID and speaks in English. With that, the soldier salutes Ramraju. On seeing that, Achug, fearing that Ramraju was the police, ran away from there and came to Bhim and told him everything that had happened. Hearing that, Bhim tells Achu to be careful not to go outside. Ramraju, on the other hand, is looking for Achu. Just then, the train passing under the bridge where Ramraju is located leaks oil and explodes. A child going in a boat in the river gets trapped in the explosion. It is seen by Ramraju from above the bridge and Bhim from below the bridge. With that they both save the child. That is how Ramraju and Bhim get to know each other. Thus, their acquaintance turns into friendship within a few days. But in their friendship, Ramraju never says that he is a policeman and is looking for Bhim. Bhim does not tell Ramraju about himself, but says my name is Akhtar, I work in a mechanic shop. In the next scene, when Ramraju and Bhim are riding a bike, Jennifer is seen. Then Bhim looks at Jennifer with love. Seeing that, Ramraju asks if you like Jennifer. To which Bhim says I like Jennifer, but I don't know how to speak. Hearing that, Ramraju takes some nails and throws them under Jennifer's car and punctures the car. Jennifer comes to Ramraju and Bhim as the car tire is punctured. I have to go shopping, my car tire is punctured. She asks if there is a mechanic shop near here. Hearing that, Bhim says that he is a mechanic and will fix her problem in 5 minutes. As Bhim's words are not understood by Jenny looking on in surprise, Ramraju says, it will take 5 hours to repair your car. So Bhim will take you shopping. Jennifer agrees with that and goes shopping with Bhim. When Jennifer buys a dress in that shop, Bhim informs that the dress belongs to a small child. Then Jennifer says that the dress is not for her, but for a girl in their house named Molly. Then Bhim, to make Molly aware of his presence, makes a bangle for Molly himself and gives it to Jennifer to give to Molly. Jennifer, after shopping, invites Bhim to a party at her house. In the next scene, Bhim goes to Ramraju and tells him everything that happened. With that, Ramraju prepares Bhim beautifully for the party. In the next scene, Jake invites Jennifer to pick a handsome boy at the party and dance with him. Then Jennifer is overjoyed to see Bhim entering the party along with Ramraju and invites Bhim to dance with her. As Jennifer and Bhim dance, an impatient Jake makes Bhim fall down, and taunts Bhim in front of everyone that he knows nothing about dancing. Then Ramraju comes to support Bhim and dances wonderfully with Bhim and makes everyone there know what Indian dance is. Later, Jennifer takes Bhim alone and goes into the Scott Palace. There Bhim sees Molly and tells her I will come here again soon and take you. In the next scene, Ramraju caught Achu. With that Ramraju tortures Achu and asks him to tell where Bhim is. But no matter how much he tortures Achu, he does not say anything about Bhim. On the other hand, seeing Molly, Bhim wants to bring Molly anyway. On the other hand, Achu is suffering a lot while enduring Ramraju's torture. Then Achu sees a poisonous snake in his place. But since Achu grew up in the forest, he very skillfully catches the snake and throws it over Ramraju. That snake bit Ramraju with it. Knowing that there is no cure for the snake's bite, Ramraju leaves Achu knowing that he will die somehow. After that, while slowly adding poison to Ramraju, he went to Bhim intoxicated. Then seeing Ramraju, Bhima realizes that he has been bitten by a snake and treats him with antidote. Bhim treated and saved Ramraju, but Ramraju was still slightly intoxicated. At that time, Bhim tells Ramraju the truth about himself that once he goes to the palace for Molly, he will come back or not. Hearing this, Ramraju tries to catch Bhim but cannot because he is intoxicated. In the next scene, Bhim picks up the wild animals he has caught so far in a van, goes to the British palace where the party is taking place, and releases them to the British soldiers. Also, beating those who come in his way, he goes to Molly in the palace. But when Bhim is about to go near Molly, Ramraju comes there as a police officer and stops Bhim. Seeing this, Bhim is shocked and tries to explain his situation without hitting Ramraju. But Ramraju stops him from listening to Bhim's words as his duty is the goal. With that, Bhim gets into a fight with Ramraju in wrong situations. Even if there is a chance to kill each other in that fight, but because of the friendship between them, they will not kill each other. And in that fight, Bhim alone could not face Ramraju and the British soldiers and surrendered. In the next scene, Ramraju is appointed as a special police officer, as he catches Bhim. As soon as he puts on that special police officer's dress, Ramraju remembers his home. Ramraju's father was Venkata Ramraju. He was a freedom fighter. He used to teach his men the education he got in the British army to drive away the British soldiers. But Venkatrama Raju had no weapons except a gun and a few bullets. However, he trains his peoples by making guns out of wood. And Venkata Ramraju always had a desire to give real guns to his men and fight against the British army. But when the British came to know that Venkata Ramraju was giving training to the people, they came to the tribe to arrest Venkata Ramraju. There, the British used to shoot anyone to catch Venkata Ramaraju. Venkata Ramaraju attacked the British with a few bullets to save his people. When Venkata Ramaraju killed a few people, the bullets near him ran out. Then our Ramaraju steals the bullet from the British army and takes the gun from his father and starts firing on the British. But there will be many British soldiers. With that, Venkata Ramaraju, who told his son about his ambition, tied bombs to his body and went into the midst of the British soldiers and blew himself up. In the quarrel, Ramaraju loses his entire family except his sister-in-law. Therefore, Ramaraju decides to become a special officer of the Scott Palace and steal the guns from the palace and give them to his people to participate in the freedom struggle. After 4 years of hard work, Ramaraju becomes a special officer at Scott Palace. With that, Ramaraju writes a letter to his beloved Sita, in which he writes in pain that he has sacrificed his best friend for his ambition. In the next scene, seeing Bhim come to the palace alone, remaining people can also enter the palace with that courage. So in front of everyone, make Bhim sits on his knees and he needs to apologize to me, Scott tells to Ramaraju. With that, Ramaraju tied up Bhim in front of everyone and told Bhim to sit on your knees, apologize to Scott. But Bhim does not like an Indian bowing before a white man, so he does not sit on his knees. Seeing that, Scott gets angry and tells Ramaraju to beat Bhim until he gets down on his knees and apologizes. Even though Ramaraju doesn't like it, he beats Bhim. But Bhim, while taking those blows, inspires awareness among the helpless people with his song. So all those people turned against the British soldiers in support of Bhim. Seeing this, Ramaraju was so surprised that he knew that he could fight for freedom even with a song, and took Bhim away from there. That night, it seems that Ramaraju is going to be appointed in charge of the guns in the Scott Palace in the next 2 days. But on the next day, when he learns that Bhima is being hanged, Ramaraju decides to put his ambition aside and save Bhim. For that, Ramaraju goes to Scott and says that instead of hanging in the palace, let's hang him outside the village in front of Molly's eyes. Scott says it's okay as he has faith in Ramaraj. Ramaraju takes Molly and takes him out of the village to hang Bhim along with Scott. Then Ramaraju starts driving his car fast to escape Molly from the British. Noticing that, Scott takes his gun and shoots Ramaraju's car which is going fast in front of him. In an accident, Ramaraju gets badly hurt. However, he fights with the British soldiers to send Molly to the nearby forest. On the other hand, Bhim starts fighting with the British soldiers near him. And so Bhim beats them all and takes Molly and runs away into the nearby forest. Ramaraju gets caught by the Scott's army. With that, Scott locks Ramaraj in jail and sends police all over Delhi to catch Bhim. A few months pass like that. Bhim escapes from the police and goes to Hathras, a town near Agra. When Bhim is hiding in an inn with his men in that town, the police also come there. With that, Bhim and his men do not know where to go. Then Ramaraja's sister-in-law Sita, who was there, went to the police and there was no one there. We have only one relative. She says that he is also suffering from Masuchi. Hearing that, the police fear that it is Masuchi and leave without entering the house. Then when the police leave, Bhim thanks Sita and asks about Sita. With that, Sita tells Bhim about herself and her brother-in-law Ramaraju and why Ramaraju is actually working for the British. Also, Sita tells about the letter written by Ramaraju to her, that Ramaraju is going to be hanged soon. Then Bhim heard all that. I am the Bhim who wrote in the letter of Ramaraju, because of me now Ramaraju is now in jail. Saddened by that, he promises to Sita that I will make both of you one. Bhim goes to Scott Palace alone for Ramaraju and meets Ramaraju in jail. Then Bhim apologized to Ramaraju and said Sita came all the way to Delhi for you and told me everything that happened. He says let us escape from here. But already Ramaraja's knee is badly damaged and he is unable to walk. With that, Bhim picks up Ramaraju and both of them fight as one and run away from there into the forest. There, Bhim rubs medicine on Ramaraju's knee and fetches bow and arrows from the nearby temple and gives them to Ramaraju. Scott, on the other hand, learns that Ramaraju and Bhim have escaped and sends a special team into the forest. Then both Ramaraj and Bhim killed the British soldiers who came into the forest. They both attack the Scott Palace without stopping at all. And Ramaraju knows where the bombs are in that palace, so he shoots an arrow with a flame and blows up the palace. But on the other side, Bhim goes inside while throwing bombs and comes out with the guns kept in the box. After that, Ramaraju and Bhim together shoot Scott who took many lives. Then Bhim gives the guns he saved to Ramaraju to fulfill his wish. Ramaraju was very happy with that and asked what do you want who helped me so much. Then Bhim asks Ramaraju to give him education. This is how the movie ends. For such an interesting movie explanation, please subscribe to my channel and activate the bell next to it. Also, if you like this video, don't forget to like and comment. Thanks for watching. See you later in the video.